Hey guys, here's your afternoon summary. I just finished my tax strategy Zoom, and you may want to get it. So if you want the replay, let me know. It comes with a worksheet. I love you all with the love of Christ. I've been looking for articles that I think are of interest, and this is the best one. Because there's no articles from the links that I use from Mr. Sandman, who I'm still waiting to hear from. I have hope that I will again someday. Keep him and all the U.S. military in your prayers that are over there in harm's way. It says, this article was today, and it says, don't abandon Iraq, the case for a continued U.S. military presence. Remember, I brought you the article that said they had come to an agreement with just the U.S. So this is, again, I'm just going to tell you what's come out today. It says, don't abandon Iraq, the case for a continued U.S. military presence. Most Iraqi prime ministers serving in the past 2 decades have at some point asked the U.S. military to leave their country. Prime Minister Ibrahim al-Zawahiri made the first public call for a U.S. withdrawal in 2005, followed by Nouri al-Maliki in 2008, Abdul Mahdi in 2020, and Mohammed Shial al-Sudani, the current incumbent, in December 2023. For much of this period, these requests have originated with the Iranian-backed Islamist militia groups operating in Iraq, which have pushed the country's political leaders to demand a drawdown of U.S. forces. Bilateral negotiations over the past 15 years or so have dramatically reduced the U.S. military presence in Iraq since its peak in 2007, when 170,000 U.S. troops were stationed there as a part of a surge to fight al-Qaeda and support the Iraqi armed forces, which were still in the process of rebuilding after we dismantled this country, dismantled the, country. That's a long time ago. President Barack Obama withdrew all the U.S. troops by late 2011, only to send 3,000 back to fight the Islamic State, known as ISIS, less than 3 years later. Today, the United States has an estimated 2,500 soldiers in Iraq. The threat that al-Qaeda and ISIS pose in Iraq has significantly diminished, and major acts of violence are rare, which explains the pared-down U.S. troop preparations. Now, Sudani is seeking to end the U.S. military presence in Iraq. Altogether, the prime minister faces pressure from his partners in government, a bloc known as the Coordination Framework, which is composed of Islamist Shiite parties closely aligned with Iran. He is also looking to bolster his own position, although Sudani should have authority over all the armed entities in Iraq. As the country's commander-in-chief, in practice, militia groups operate either autonomously or through the Popular Mobilization Forces, the PMF, an umbrella organization that is legally recognized as part of Iraq's securities operation, but coordinates directly with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard. When Sudani meets with President Joe Biden in Washington on April 15th, he will make a case for the United States to remove all American troops, but he is unlikely to put forward a plan to deal with the militias in the aftermath. Doing so would require strengthening Iraq's institutions, as militia groups and the politicians who support them take advantage of weak state structures. There is little political will right now for such reform, however, given that some members of the governing coalition also hold positions. The danger of escalation from armed forces is real. So, guys, it's a much longer article. So what do you think? Comment down below. We'll see what happens, guys. All we are is bystanders. We don't really know. Supposedly only 10 to 19 people know, from what we've heard, when this is actually going to happen. But God told me it was done. It says it's been a test of wills, but the American presence has been a test of wills between Iraqi political actors who want to see Baghdad clearly aligned with Tehran, and those who want to secure Iraq's independence by balancing ties with Tehran and Washington. So, guys, it's like usual a battle. But God did tell me when this happens, it's going to be messy. So, what do you think? Please comment down below. And now I'm going to go to the other summary that I always do. Please comment down below if you like these summaries and you want me to keep doing it. Please subscribe and tap the bell if you want me to keep doing it. I'm just saying. So here we go. As of today, this is Saturday afternoon, which is always a holiday. The Sabbath is always Friday to Saturday in a lot of Middle Eastern religions. This is Militiaman. There are so many indicators now that show Iraq is heading into the global stage and is setting the stage in many ways. That's true. Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground report. Firefly, Soudani says the meeting with Biden will put our reconstruction on a whole new basis. That's interesting. Don't you think that's your good words? Frank, the only reason the economic reform is going to be on a whole new basis successful is because monetary reform was successful. Newshound Guru Claire from X or Twitter, Iraqi Prime Minister's office account, Prime Minister Mr. Mohammed Shial al-Sudani leaves the capital Baghdad heading to the United States of America at the head of a government and parliamentary delegation and representatives of the private sector at the beginning of an official visit at the invitation of U.S. President Joseph Biden. Intel Guru Mark Z via PDK, community comment, Soudani looks to be coming to the U.S. on the 15th. I think it more likely to happen before the tail end. He thinks the revaluation or reinstitution or RI, whatever you want to call it, or REER, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter to me. I just want the value to go up so I can go to the exchange. If you agree, comment, amen. I think it's more likely to happen towards the 22nd. That's Mark's opinion, to see our new rate. But Iraqi contacts, he's got a lot of Iraqi contacts, think Soudani is going to announce it in Iraq before he heads to the U.S. on the 15th. He said he hopes they're right and we are wrong. So it depends on when you think he left. Did he already leave? I don't know. How long flying distance is it? If anybody knows, comment down below. It should be interesting. Mountain Goat, who is a female, I was told, quoted, approximately 1,000 ATMs will be installed across all provinces, districts, and areas of Kurdistan region of Iraq, the KRG, by the end of 2024. We have been told years ago that the ATMs are pivotal to the project to delete the zeros and that it is good news. More important, are they JP Morgan Chase branches? Or are they Wells Fargo branches? What kind of branches do you think they are? Comment down below. I love to hear your opinion, guys. I love to read your comments, especially the nice ones that say nice things. Because we should be a lot kinder to everybody else. Everybody's going through this in different ways, and the inflation sucks, right? So this is Guru Claire. This is yesterday. Article, Al-Sudani to American companies. The current stability in Iraq is encouraging you to engage in development projects. They are open for business, and they're saying security and stability. Breitling said, the dinar is real. The opportunity is real. I know you have to have an atomic, almost godlike patience. I'm just like everybody else. Can't wait for them to add value to it, but it is real. I think people, sorry, it changes because there's so much news going around, guys, who stick with it are going to benefit from it 100%. It is real and it will come. Frank 26, I told you there were 4 banks for exchange. I told you the echelon. What was the first bank? Bank of America. What's the second bank? JP Morgan Chase, ... If you have my strategies, you can find your own banks. Amen. Oil has risen to over, Sandy Ingram, oil has risen to over $90 a barrel. OPEC is cornering itself into a position of oil profits by reducing the amount of oil available. Pimpy, nearly everybody in Iraq earns less than $2,500 a month. That is a really good point. 75% of the population makes less than $770 a month. 50% of them earn $540 a month or less. And 25% of them earn less than $400 a month. That's Pimpy's. I like that he did that. That is your average monthly salaries over in Iraq. Labor over there is cheap. That's why American companies are going to flock over there and start up operations. A lot of them already have. If you've been paying attention to my summaries, all you got to do is go to my channel, look under videos, and look at all my summaries just like this. They're about the same amount of time. Article, this is Guru Claire article. The dollar is on the Sudanese dialogue table in Washington. Awadi talks about the future of the Iraqi dinar. Quote, the dollar file and the work of the banks will be strongly present during the visit of Prime Minister Mohammed Shial al-Sudani to Washington, suggesting that the dinar situation in the future will be better. Woohoo! And then Militiaman said the Iraq stage is clearly set for al-Sudani to come to the U.S. His achievements to date are phenomenal in totality. The DFA funds having been the legal basis in depositing revenues into the new Iraq 2 account. And I was saying this morning on my live, if you ever want to join us for coffee and conversations, that's fun. If you ever want to join us for margaritas and mysteries, there may be one tomorrow night, which is also going to be fun. See what happens. They have a new Iraq 2 account. Maybe that's Iraq 2.0. It's been a long time since they've been sovereign, right? So we're all expecting them to be sovereign soon. With the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. That account is with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. It is the expiration of of Executive Order 13303, which granted Iraq the ability for her funds to be deposited into account, to be protected with legal authority, and to be where they are now. Samson, Guru Samson, article, the dollar is on the Sudanese table. That we already said that for Washington. I think that's it. Except Frank, of course, said Iraq is a sovereign nation now with a sovereign currency. Therefore, in his opinion, Sudani goes to Washington to deal with a monetary reform and banking advancement. Billions and billions are returning to Iraq. It's an incredible amount of money that's coming back. It'll probably come back to them now or after the 15th when Sudani comes back. So it's a lot of money, and I agree. There's a lot going on. But guys, because the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the Central Bank of Iraq, none of those are audited, right? They might have had the auditors in there and putting together their new digital systems where everybody's globally connects and it's cheaper and transactions fly faster and it frees up liquidity for the banks and for the people. It's inevitable. It's happening, right? So you might as well prepare for it in Jesus' name. Amen. God's wisdom is clarity. I hope you feel clearer after watching this summary. God bless. Amen. Bye.